Thank you for tuning in to Not Just Girl Talk with Tiffany and Ashanti. Make sure you got a beverage in your hand. Sit back, relax, and engage with us. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Not Just Girl Talk, season 2, episode 2 for the 22.
Yes.
I am your host, Ashanti.
And I'm your host, Tiffany.
And thank y'all for tuning back in to another episode of Not Just Girl Talk. And y'all already know we're gonna jump right in. Tiffany gonna let y'all know what to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about Not Just Girl Talk.
So you guys know that you can check out, make sure you follow us on all of our platforms. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You know, that's our baby TikTok account. We're still working, but look in our bio and make sure you follow, like, and share.
Yes, make sure y'all doing all of the above. And y'all already know when y'all listening to Not Just Girl Talk, you want to make sure you have a beverage in your hand. So we have beverage of the day, and I am in Ashanti fashion, sipping on my great seltzer. Like I told y'all last week, I like to drink seltzer, and I wanted to keep it within 5 grams of carbs. I mean, no, it's 5% alcohol, but it is 5 grams of carbs too. Yeah, 5. So I have my seltzer in hand. Tiffany, what you drinking on?
Now, last week, I,
You like to
had a
switch it
little
up. Hold
coffee,
on.
but I can't go wrong with a little Stella Rosa. This is the blueberry. I actually have never tasted the blueberry.
Hmm.
So, I tasted most of the flavors, but, this is just a little sweet wine, not much alcohol. So just a little something to sip on.
I've never had a blueberry. Is it good?
It's not bad. This is my first time literally tasting it on camera, but it's not bad. No.
Oh, okay. If y'all have any beverage suggestions, what it's pretty good.
I
What
need to
you
see.
sipping on?
It's not as sweet to me, which is
Oh,
good because
good.
that may be a little. I need to check the percentage. But yeah.
Oh, y'all let us know if y'all have any suggestions on beverages that we should try. Because I definitely try, give me a good seltzer or a prosecco. I love prosecco too, and I love a rose. Anything like a rose, sparkling, anything I love too. So let us know, Tiffany, what you like to drink. More you like sweet stuff. You like Moscato type
Not
sweet.
necessarily. It depends on what mood I'm in. You know what I'm saying? If I want
Okay, okay.
to get a little buzz, I'm not looking for sweet. I'm looking for something with a
Mhm.
higher, if it's wine, I want a higher alcohol, percentage. So usually I'm going towards the Chardonnay or the, um,
Yeah.
that realm.
Okay.
So, but if I'm just trying to be light or whatever, um, you know, I'll do a little
Yeah.
light wine, sweet wine like Moscato or Stella Rosa. Generally, when I record, that's what I do because I, have to focus for the rest of the day. Because Sundays are a little bit
Not
busy.
not
I
focused.
do, girl. Sundays in my household is a whole. Got to get ready for the
Not
work
the
week.
focus. I
Yes.
understand that.
So
Okay, so let us know. Make sure you got a beverage in your hand. When you listen to us, let us know that you got a beverage. Let us know what you're sipping on. And so we're gonna move into our next segment, which I already know. We have our sip on it and speak on it, which is another reason why you need your beverage in your hand. So
yeah,
Tiffany, what topic do we have today for our sip on it and speak on it?
girl. So,
Mm,
last week we talked about Tristan and I think Chloe. So this week our
hmm.
sip on it or speak on it topic is about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Is
Yeah.
that right,
Hmm.
girl?
Yeah, that's
With the
right. That's right.
Melanie and what's his name?
Martel.
Martel. Yeah. So,
Mm.
if y'all keep up with this story, like he is also another promiscuous
Re-
creature or whatever you want to
a
call it.
repeat offender. He is.
Repeat
Okay.
offender, yeah. And so pretty much I've heard several stories. She's spoken out, the mistress has spoken out, all of this. It's just a whole mess. I know that what was disturbing to me, like she knew that he was cheating. It was pretty much, and then she stayed with him for as long as she did. So I think kids may have definitely played a factor in it, because she still was like, for whatever reason, staying around, even though I think it was pretty much obvious that he was, a thought, or whatever we want to call it. Wasn't faithful. And then she had another baby. I think was she pregnant at the same time as the mistress?
Yeah, she had another baby. I don't know if I would have did that one, but to each his own. You're married too,
Maybe
so
she thought
whatever.
it was gonna keep him. I don't know. There would
Baby,
have been
I'm
a
here to tell you,
rejuvenation.
a baby
Oh,
ain't
right?
never kept a nigga. I'm
I'm
here to
sure.
tell you the truth and shame the devil. For those of you who are listening and don't know this to be true, a baby will never keep a man. A baby is not an indication that you will be chosen, okay, or that you choose to be kept. Let's not get a dude that much credit. But
Mm-mm.
no, baby's not. Mm-mm. However, let's going back into the topic because I can speak on that one for a minute. But going back into the topic, I do feel like she tried her marriage. That's what we're gonna
Yeah.
say. She put in the effort with her marriage, and I feel like she tried to make it work. And making it work for her was knowing about the young lady for 7 years. So for me,
Mm.
it's a hard no and a hard pass. For
Yes.
7 years, I'm not just that. No, I'm not doing it. I don't care
Mm.
how. And I think, like you were saying, children. I
Yeah.
think the reason she probably stayed more so was because of the business. They had a lot of
Um.
money. They were growing in assets. They're growing financially. They're growing in the community. So it was almost for me, I would say, of saving face for what they're currently
Yeah.
building. And not more so for the kids because she even had the last baby and was like, I'm out of here with her fourth child. But I think it was more so we've built something together. We've set a strong foundation and let's make it work. But again, he liked going back to the young lady
Yeah.
and unfortunately unfortunately that's where he liked to be. I mean, it's hard to say and it's so hurtful to hear. Even in the
Yeah.
reunion, I watched it and it was so hurtful me and both of us, being married. So it's hard to hear that you don't have to be married in a relationship to hear that your
Yeah.
significant other is in love or actually dating and really love somebody else.
I think
Like
he
you
loved her.
love her?
I think
Yes,
he's
he
just a
do.
thought. I don't know that he loved
No,
her.
he do love her. He only dated her. He never dated anybody else. Now, for
Oh, but
me,
I'm
if you
saying I've
date
heard he done
multiple
cheated on
people,
this one too. So you know what I'm saying?
no, he love her. No, I'm telling you, y'all, let us know. I think that man loved it. He loved that girl. He even said in the episode, he was just like, I only kept going back to her. It was something about her. He said it out of his mouth. He liked her. Like he really loved this young lady. And when he met her, she was like 24. He was like 34 or something. 33, 34. I mean, even though in age, you like, you can kind of date
Yeah.
up. But still, he loved that girl. 7 years, you cheat on your wife with the same woman for 7 years, man, you in love. You're in love.
Yeah. I don't know. He in strong liking.
No,
You don't think
strong
he
like
loved
is
Melanie when he first met her, and he just met somebody younger that just caught his eye. Hmm.
I think he did love Melanie and he still does and he liked what they have built. But I do feel like at some point she fell a little bit flat and was a little bit boring. I'm sorry to say. I mean, Melanie is a little. I like Melanie, but she can be boring. She can
I
be.
think she saves face. I think what we
She
see,
does.
I think she's very put together on camera. She's
I
not,
think she put together off camera too.
yeah, I think she has this image that she's gonna keep together. So I
Yeah,
don't
and
know
I
what
think
goes on, what's going on truly behind their closed doors, but
yeah, I think she fell a little flat on the little boring. Like she could be a little, you know what I'm saying? But she could be just monotone. And I think he found excitement in the other young lady. He found something different. I don't know why dudes be out here doing what they do, but whatever. I do feel like though he loved that girl. He do.
mm,
Now, a strong liking is within the first year. The first year you got a strong liking. 7 years, man, you in love. 7? And my wife know, and it's the same person, man, He's in love. I'm gonna stop saying man. Yeah,
Did he
he's
put a ring on it yet?
how can you put a ring on it and you're already committed?
They ain't divorced yet?
They just got divorced.
Okay.
He
See,
can marry the girl, but I don't think he's ready to jump back in a full-fledged marriage. Just because he don't want to marry her doesn't mean he don't love her.
right. That's true.
So
Let
let
us
us know
know.
what y'all think. Yeah, you
I
see,
don't know.
we kind of. I think he love her, and it's a hard pill to swallow. It's
Yeah.
very hard to swallow, but that man love that girl,
Mm.
and her and Melanie do have similar
I was
characteristics.
gonna
He has
say that
type.
he got a type. He got a
Yeah,
type.
he has a type. He definitely has a type, and they both are in that type. Right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, he got a type. So if you fit that type, you might be available.
Maybe.
He might be. Let us know what y'all think. So.
Yeah.
That's our sip on it this week on this segment for today. So, y'all, we're going to jump on into the topic of discussion. So, the segue into the topic is pretty much the same as, look, what we were just talking about on the sip on it to speak on it. And it's pretty much reflecting towards boundaries. So, and non negotiables. So, when you're building and maintaining a relationship, we want to know pretty much what's your non-negotiable and what's your experience behind them. Have you experienced the non-negotiables? Have you set them? Have you laid them in the beginning? Do you kind of build them throughout your relationship? How has that pretty much worked for you? um and I know, Tiff, you know I'm gonna go first. I just want to kind of jump in from my end, and I'm just gonna say, for me, I never actually set non-negotiables. In the beginning, I never set them. I knew what I didn't want, but I didn't know that I didn't want or I wanted certain things until it happened in the relationship. So I believe my non-negotiables came from experience from my relationships that I experienced. So I didn't necessarily set them in the beginning because I didn't know what I wanted. So when you don't know what you want, how are you setting a non-negotiable? You don't even know what to negotiate.
Yeah.
So for me, that pretty much was has happened to me throughout relationships. I just, if I say, oh well, this happened in this relationship, oh, this relationship consisted of cheating. Guess what? I don't want the next relationship to consist of cheating. So that is a non-negotiable. Still not knowing what I truly want for myself, I only found, oh, I didn't like this. So if I didn't like something, that was a non-negotiable in the next relationship. And for me, that didn't set strong foundations because there were no lines or anything set for myself that I required of a partner to
Yeah.
follow. And because I didn't know what I wanted. And I feel like we hear all the time boundaries, non
Yeah.
negotiables, set those expectations. But I can honestly say, I don't know who out there can attest to this, but for me personally, I didn't know what I wanted until I experienced it. And then I kind of set it from there. But I'm in a different space where I'm like, hold up, let's look at the whole picture. What is it that I truly want as a whole person? And then kind of go from there. So for me, that was a space that something that I didn't do because I just didn't know what I wanted.
Yeah. I think like you said, through experience, I feel like I've always kind of had boundaries or not knowing per se or non-negotiables, if you will. But I got it from my mom, I think. I ain't gonna say she's
Mm,
the most necessarily have the healthiest relationships, but I've had a consistent, I guess, male figure that was in the household most of my growing up. And then I also just her. if you know my mama, you know her. You know how my mom is. She's just no nonsense person. And so that's kind of where my personality came from. So even when I was younger in high school, whatever, when I started dating and stuff, it was just like, oh, okay, you cheat. Okay, on to the next. I never got held up on anybody. Now, I don't think I have that much experience outside of my husband because out high school and maybe a little bit in college, but all I know is just how I've always been like, nah, you doing this. Now that I have a husband, some things that I probably have said that it's non-negotiable. I know younger, I'm like, nah, I ain't dealing with you ain't gonna, if you cheat on me, I'm gone. Well, I'm married now. So, that may be something the situation would have to depend on. You repeat offender. Is this something that I feel like you truly have remorse for and you're proving yourself to gain or earn my trust back? So that's one of the things I know that I used to say, no, you cheat on me. No. But that's when I was younger. Now that I'm actually married and been married for a while, I mean, my perspective may have shifted with that. But definitely as I've been in my marriage, so I can just speak on that. If things, whatever reason, didn't work out, I don't even know how to date. Girl, I wouldn't even know what's a non-negotiable, or you know what I'm saying.
Right.
I probably would just automatically go older, honestly. But
older,
yes, girl, because they just these younger ones. I just don't know. I don't know this generation. I just don't know that I can. Yeah, I'll probably shoot for older because they kind of got hopefully some more sense and they ain't got to grow to get some sense. But definitely a non-negotiable, and that's always been for me is I won't tolerate like domestic violence. That's always been a number one for me. If you like
security is important to you.
Oh yeah, security.
You say that all the time. Like you like security is very important.
That's like my love language, and I don't know why he didn't include it. But security, because I'm not going to say that your finances are a deal breaker for me or a non-negotiable, but you have to make me feel secure. So that means even if I make more than you, I need to know that you're gonna make sure that I'm secure and our household is secure. And I'm speaking from a marriage perspective. And I know that even if you have to get 1-2 jobs to get to where we are secure and we good, that's what I mean. Like you're willing to do all of that. And that makes me, I'm going to help you as a helpmate too, but I just want you to make me feel like I don't even have to do that because you got me and I'm confident that you got it. You know what I'm saying? That you're going to make sure we're good. But definitely security. Yeah, that ain't even what I was talking about, domestic violence, but girl, security that's definitely, I need someone that's going to, I guess, be confident enough and make me feel secure consistently. But financial status and stuff, like I said, that's negotiable. Non-negotiables though, I just think that religion, of course. I mean, if we're not equally yoked, we can't, you know what I'm saying? That's probably definitely a deal breaker.
That is definitely something that I have always, even though I've never said I don't know what, I never had the non-negotiables specifically to say that this is one I'm not dealing with, two I'm not, certain things. Religion has always, like, do you believe in God? Do you go to church? Like that was literally one that I could say has been and was and always is a foundation for me. But as far as setting that up, I've never done that. But now in the space that I'm currently in, I'm definitely looking as a whole over pretty much what is it that Ashanti deserves, what is it that Ashanti wants, and what is it that I can um, give and take on. Because I also feel like non-negotiables change as you grow
Yeah.
from levels in your relationship.
Age
Because
too. I think
mhm,
age,
it changes a lot. Because even if you don't have kids, let's say you negotiate date nights. Guess what? We have date nights when we're younger. I mean, when we don't have any children, we go out, we do our thing. That's what we do. That's how we express ourselves. And then when you have kids and you bring that into the fold, okay, now what do we do to maintain our connection? So that can sometimes change the negotiables in a relationship, because you're no longer a priority. Unfortunately, the children are. So now what do we do? So those are
Mhm.
some things that you have to look at in the as far as the negotiations go from spaces that we're in. Let me
Yeah.
see.
And then like the last episode, like I said when I was younger, you cheat, all this, I'm moving on. But I think that, like I said, married, you may can get over an infidelity. But a repeated cheater, because I know the last episode I said, I'm optimistic if you was a thought and all of this. But I feel like if you're repeated, you ain't learned, and you still doing the same thing, and you know what I'm saying? Then that's gonna be a no. Like we can't. That's non-negotiable to me.
Okay.
Like it's consistently, you ain't
Hmm.
learned, you ain't helped me bring my guard down. Mm-mm. It's just
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to move on, marriage or not. You see how nice I said.
So I did look up the according to CNN, they have the top 10 non-negotiables. And we actually touched on a few of them. So we can elaborate. But the top 10 non-negotiables, the first one is physical affection. Yeah, you're not a touchy-feely
Yeah.
person. Uh, Number two, honesty. Now, this is in no
Yeah.
particular order. You can arrange it of importance to you and how it fits your
Mhm.
life. But for the statistics, just the top 10. Sense of humor.
Yeah.
I like to laugh. I like somebody like to have fun. And that's probably my problem because I look for a good time, not a long time.
But
It turned out to be a long time, but I like to have a good time. I like to have fun. Um, Respect. This is where the boundaries and
yeah.
the negotiables come into play.
Yeah.
Uh, Kids. They said
Yeah.
kids is a big thing. How many kids do you have? Do you want or do you not want kids? That's a negotiable situation or the non-negotiables. Active. How active are you? Do you like to sit around the house? Are you a homebody? Do you like to
Yeah.
go out? Do you hang out?
Yeah.
Religious status that we just talked about.
Yes.
Religious. Financial stability. You like it to be secure. That's financial.
Yeah.
And then, are you a job hopper? Are you a dreamer? Are you a worker? Are you a doer? Financial
Mm,
status or stability. Nine, open. So open in their sense is like, are you open to change? Are you open to
yeah.
things new that we can explore together? And 10 was ambitious. Are you a go getter?
Yeah.
Do you go after your dreams? Do you go after things that you want? So those were the top 10
Yeah.
non-negotiable.
I think ambition is kind of negotiable because, man, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I do because, yeah, you can go after your dream, but at the same time, I'm not knocking anybody. If you have me, I'm gonna support you. But what I'm saying is, you also have to have a balance with that. If you know that it's gonna mess with my security, which probably is number one for me, um, you know, like, hey, I know you say you want to be an artist, but how much is this? You know what I mean? Like I also believe in being realistic, just honest.
Mm.
You know?
And I'm like, I need you to be ambitious because I'm always, you know me, I'm really like,
Yeah,
what's next? What are we doing? Like, what are you thinking about?
yeah.
My mama would, if she's listening to this episode, cause she listens, she's
Uh-huh.
gonna be like, oh my God. Every time I say something, I'm like, I'm thinking about this and this. And she'd be
Yeah,
like, oh my God. Like she always does that.
yeah,
But I'm very much she's like, wanna, everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. Everybody doesn't have a
yeah,
goal outside of their job. Everybody doesn't
yeah,
have a dream to aspire to do more.
yeah,
But I have that innate thing inside of me, and it's just me where I'm always like, I
yeah.
am meant to be like a superstar. I'm just saying.
But does that mean
But
your
literally,
significant other has to be match that same energy? Do
but
they
I
have to
want
want
them to.
more?
I
So
feel
that's
like
a
life
deal
is
breaker.
about, for at this point in my life, it can possibly be a deal breaker because I don't like complacency. Adele has a song right now, and complacency is the worst trait to have. Like, I literally want you to have some ambition. Like, you gotta want more than where you are. If you're good in the space that you're in, and you like to coast, that actually is a deal breaker for me.
See, but if you
Because I want
coasting and
so
we're financially secure, coast on, baby. You know, I'm okay
no,
with it.
like,
But I guess
I
I
want to
say
be like,
that
what is the
because,
next level?
and see, with me in education, I don't want to be a principal. I don't want to move up. Maybe teach college, but after that, I don't desire to go. I want to do what I'm still doing. You know.
And I love growth. I love movement. I'm always like, okay, I'm good. I've learned what I've learned. What is the next level? So
But
I am always chasing the next level or the next thing. And sometimes for that may not be the best thing to do. But for me, if I feel like I'm not growing, I'm not doing anything.
but also with education, I think that I'm always growing to be a better teacher. No teacher is perfect. So you're always trying to get better each year and each year. So in that aspect, girl, my arm look fat. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
people,
this is
do not.
yeah.
Man, I'm
I was
over
like,
here
I want to
looking
wear short sleeves. I'm sorry. That was just random, y'all. But
women. Well,
I don't
another
know.
thing that I was listening to, well, not listening to, in looking at the list, definitely something that we don't think about. We always say trust our spouses is honesty. So
Yeah.
in order for us to gain that trust, that level of honesty has to be there. And when you meet someone, if you all are out here dating, you should meet
Yeah.
on a level of honesty. If you don't want to be in a relationship, say, "Hey, I'm just dating." That
Yeah.
gives you a solid foundation of straight
Yeah.
honesty. Because when you are not being honest upfront about small things,
Yeah.
it can be a domino effect, and
Yeah.
the bigger picture of the honesty plays a major part in trust and communication that you have with each other. So honesty actually was a big one.
I think
And
that
kids,
is. I agree.
yeah.
Honesty, kids, you know what I'm saying? At this age, we should be done having kids. But if you happen to be younger and all of
You
this,
can't be telling these folks not to have kids.
well, I'm just saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not, I don't mean it like that. If you want kids still, I'm just saying for me, I mean, at 37, I don't think that my desire is to have children. But I mean, you can have children older if that's you. But for me, that's not a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker for me because I know that I'm not having anymore. So if you want kids, I'm not for you. I know that. So, but honesty, definitely, definitely. And like you said,
Yeah,
small things can turn huge.
they
I think
can.
if you a liar or whatever, what you got to lie about? You ain't got
Yeah.
to lie, Craig. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just
And
saying,
you ain't got a lot to
you
kick
ain't
it.
got to
You
lie.
ain't got a lot to kick it. So that's definitely, and for me, kids. So okay, my kids are older. In the dating space, I would not want to date someone who has children that are in elementary or younger. That is a no go. That is girl, no. My kids are in middle school and high school. And when I say middle school, my youngest kids are going to the eighth grade. So guess what? Everybody's about to be in high school and graduates. I will not date anybody who has a child in elementary. No. Mm-mm. That's a no go.
My sweet babies.
Mm. I mean, you
I
have small children. They're
know.
so sweet, but for me, that is a extra. That is a hard no. That is
Yeah,
a very non-negotiable for me. Kids that are in elementary, no. Your
it take
children
more
have to
work.
be in seventh grade or higher, and you got to have one baby mama.
Oh Lord, you right. I ain't
I'm
gonna say
telling
kids. I'm not gonna say you can't have kids if you know what I'm saying. If I were dating, however, you got a question like how many baby mamas you got, how many kids you got. These are questions that are valid,
and
and
you
it can
know,
lead
and
to some non-negotiables. Like
they
it ain't
can,
gonna
and
work
for
past date
me,
one.
And for me, it's so hard because I'm like, I have 4 children, and
Yeah.
some people be like, "Ooh, got 4
Yeah.
kids." I ain't nobody take care
But
of my
you,
kids.
yeah,
They
but
just
the age range, you know.
okay. So I did pose a question to a group of associates, and it was, do you think that children, it's easier to date a woman with younger children or older children? That is a big thing when you come to kids on your non-negotiable list. So
Yeah.
what you think, young kids or older kids?
Well, because I mean, it just depends. If I'm dating now, I got small kids, so I would be open to, um, you know, if they're around my kids' ages or whatever, I'll probably be okay with it because I'm still in that space. But
Hmm.
if it's something and my kids are older, then definitely I don't want nobody young. My energy probably is
Okay.
already struggling now, but um, you know, you know, I think it
And
just
it was
depends.
now it was a toss up because the women actually said that they didn't mind whatever age group, but the men said I would date a woman with younger children, not older kids, because the
It's like a
older kids
modem.
have already, yep, have their
Got their
personalities.
attitude.
Hmm. They
You ain't my
already know what they
daddy.
want. They know what they want. They have already have established the household dynamic. So they literally said that they preferred to have women who
Hmm.
had a younger kids than older. So
Hmm.
I'm like, well,
Well,
guess
there you have it.
my kids old out here.
Yeah. Well,
But
I know.
let us know anything else you got on the topic, Tiffany.
No, that was pretty much it. Those 10 points that you picked, I think we had most of those. So,
We
I
did.
mean,
We did.
you know what we dealing with and not.
Yeah, and I did want to say something. So I wrote something down. When you coming into a relationship, the saying that I know my mom has told us, and a saying that I hear a lot of people say, don't start what you can't keep up. And that's
Yeah.
very important when you coming into a relationship. Don't start with the flowers. Don't
Yeah.
start with the date nights like this. Don't start doing all of this if you can't keep up with it.
And the same
Because
is
we're
for us.
expecting it.
Yeah. I mean, and don't accept what you truly ain't okay with too. So
Hmm.
like if we just like, oh, okay, I know he called me, every now and then or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
if he wasn't doing it then, why are you expecting something different? You know.
Yeah, I like
So
that.
keep the
And
same
if
energy.
we Yeah, and if we dropping it off 2, 3 times a week, you're gonna have to keep that up, ladies.
Don't be trying to show out.
keep it,
Yeah.
keep it on the straight and narrow. Then have your fluctuation go up and down. Keep it regular, then show out. Keep it regular, show out. Because if you
Or
always
peaks.
showing out,
They
peaks
just
and
miss.
valleys, peaks and
Mm-mm-mm.
valleys.
Yeah.
So that is our topic for today. Let us know if you agree with the top 10 non-negotiables. You can actually find this at www.cnn.com. So the list is there for you to look at. If you want to speak on it, let us know how you feel. What are your non-negotiables? Have you set non-negotiables? Do you even know what you want to even establish a
Mhm.
non-negotiable? So let
Yeah.
us know how you feel about the topic of discussion.
Yes.
Uh, so moving into the plug. Y'all know we the plug. So Tiffany's gonna let you all know about, because she is a teacher in her career of her expertise. We have been in these fields for at least 10 years.
Mm.
Going on 10 years, if not, we've been in these fields of business. So we can
Mm.
definitely say we have the knowledge to provide substantial information to you. So in this segment of the plug, Tiffany, what you gonna plug them in on today?
Yes. So I wanted to talk a little bit about public schools versus private schools. I know that what, my kids are younger. Sorry. My kids are younger, you know what I mean? And so some people are like, you're going to put my parents, even like, you're going to put your kids in private school and all of this, just because a lot of them, we get a bad rep. I'm just going to be honest. But I mean, sorry. I'm I think I'm definitely okay because I'm a public educator. So I do think they're great teachers in public education, and I think they're good schools. So just because you go to a private school doesn't mean you're going to get a better education, in my opinion. So I just want to encourage people to definitely research schools, but don't give up on public schools. And, just give us a try and just communicate with teachers. You get some great teachers in public education and research the schools because there are great public schools. So just want to encourage you not to give up on public schools. That's my plug.
Okay. Well, as you all know, or if you don't know, I am a mortgage processor. And my plug for this week is just because you have good credit does not mean you will be approved for the loan. To let you all know, a lot of factors go into approval for loans, and credit is only a small piece of the puzzle. So, know that there are guidelines that we must follow, as I stated in the previous week's episode, that requires documentation. So, along with the documentation, gives us a complete picture of approval status. And your credit is not a final yes in the approval process. So, for those of you who have excellent credit and say, well, I got good credit, I need to be approved. No, there are multiple factors associated with that. And that is today's plug. Go ahead, you got it.
So, um, I'm gonna tell you guys our soul food for the week. I'm definitely gonna have to read because it's a little lengthy. But this is something I actually saw on Facebook, and since we were talking about negotiables and non-negotiables, I thought that this was a great quote. So the quote says, "Our soul food for the week is discussions are always better than arguments because an argument is to find out who is right, and the discussion is to find out what is right." So, and I'm going to repeat
Mm,
that.
yeah.
Discussions are always better than arguments because an argument is to find out who is right, and discussions is to find out what is right. So, I mean, if you want I think, a strong relationship, that is a great model to follow. Okay.
I love it. I think I said it every week because they so good. Yeah. Oh my God. I absolutely love it. And that is oh my God, I love that.
Yes.
So, y'all already know we're going to wrap our show up. And it's two things that we want you to do when you're listening to Not Just Girl Talk. Number one is refill
Fill
your
your
cup.
cup and vibe with Tiffany and Ashanti.